Happy weekend, guys! Today we are going to be transplanting some of our seedlings into bigger 3.5-inch pots so that way they have their own space to root well and properly, and it makes it easier transplanting them in the garden when it's time to do that. So follow along. I'm going to show how we do that. Alright, so what I'm doing, I've got a bucket of black gold organic potting soil. I didn't use seed starter this year. I just used this and it's worked out so beautifully. And what I'm gonna do is add some water to it to make it moist. You don't want it dry, but you also don't want it soaking wet. You want it somewhere in the middle. Taking my wedding rings off because those get really dirty very fast. Yep, so that's about the right consistency. You want it to where it kind of clumps together and holds. And we're just gonna start filling up these 3.5-inch plastic pots. I started out using the compostable pots this year and they dried out so quickly. So I decided to invest in these, and if I take care of them, they will last several years, and then we will recycle them. So here we have some of our tomato plants. We have brandywine, 2 rows of brandywine, and then 1 row of the Burgess. So what we're doing here, see how I have 4 tomato plants in this one container. Just move them on the table, babe. So I'm gonna empty them out of here. They already have roots growing. I don't know if you can see that. They already have roots growing out of the compostable planter. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dance. So I'm just gonna gently separate them. And then see how tall it is? It's not really leggy. It's not reaching that far for light. But I am going I'm stuffing it in so that the leaves are just right above the soil again. Oh my goodness, all the noises.
He was a sock.
All right, there we go. And we're just gonna do that for all of the tomato plants so that there's 1 plant per container. So I took care of that whole flat of brandywine tomatoes, and I also had these in another flat with some other plants. So I'm running out of room actually. I'm gonna have to run and grab a few more trays and some more 3.5-inch pots. All plants have these little leaves called cotyledons, and they are the first leaves that emerge whenever a plant breaks out of the soil. A lot of plants will naturally just shed these, but when repotting tomatoes into larger containers, I always like to break off these, and then we're gonna leave the first true leaves. So these are the true leaves, the ones that break after the cotyledons. And I'm gonna push this down to where the first true leaves are actually right above soil level. That also allows the plant to focus its energy on growing the plant versus those silly little first leaves that we don't need any longer. This is a really nice example of the cotyledons versus the true leaves. See how the seed is pinched at the top of the two cotyledons? So I'm just gonna let that be, because those will drop the seed, and once they're a little bit bigger, then I'll pinch those off. And these are the true leaves, the ones with the little tiny hairs on top. Well, we certainly made a mess in here, but just a little dirt, and dirt can't hurt. So we did get all of the Brandywine tomatoes repotted into bigger potting containers. We have 46 Brandywine plants, and I definitely don't need that many, so I may be giving some to friends or trying to maybe put them out on the curb and sell some. We will see how that goes. This is our learning room table. I love this view here. And I've got the window open, trying to get a little breeze in, and dreaming about the day that I will have a beautiful greenhouse with lots of fresh air and sunlight for all these babies. Our chickens escaped again. Once they get the taste of the free-range life, you can't keep them pinned up, or it's hard to. They love burying under these lilacs. And here they come. Hey, C, how's your class?
Good.
Great.
Good. It's over. Dad, can't running house. Where's the two?
Is it windy out, you said?
Hey guys, that's my little brother right here. He's silly, so I'm taking a video of him. So he's the star in this video.
So I took a break to make one of my favorite drinks during the warm weather. I've got a quart-sized mason jar of Berkey water. That's filtered. Got some organic lime. Just gonna maybe squeeze 2 in there. And then leave the rind in there too. And then a handful of fresh mint just picked out of the yard. And I'm gonna stir all that together. Yeah. And there we go, a mamito. Cheers. So refreshing. We are all loaded up, ready to visit our friend's store and grab a few more gardening supplies. 2 of the boys and I went to the garden store and got some more containers as well as some more trays. And I almost got another bag of organic soil and talked myself out of it. And now I wish I wouldn't have done that, because we definitely need more soil as well as more containers. I got 40 and this is all I have left. So definitely need some more. We have to repot all of these Matt's wild cherry tomatoes, the Burgess tomatoes, and all of our tomatillos. And then I do need to separate these. These are the Canterbury bells in the back, and then all of these are snapdragons. So I'm gonna need a lot more containers and flats to keep those in. So for right now, I've got these 6, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sow some melon seeds indoors. And melons don't typically like to be sown indoors. They don't like to be transplanted as well as other plants do. But here in New England, you have to start everything early because our growing season is just so short. So I'm gonna find my melons and start on those. All right, so we've got our melons started. We've got Kansas muskmelon, I've got orange glow watermelon, crimson sweet, and sugar baby. We're gonna put those on the bottom row on the heat mat. So seeds don't need light to germinate, they need heat to germinate. So they're okay if they're down there in the dark on the heat mat. And once they pop up, once they germinate and have some leaves growing, we'll move them over to under the light or in the sun. So I have everything put away, tidied up, and counted. We have 46 Brandywine tomato plants, 17 San Marzano, 21 Sunrise Bumblebee, 9 Burgess, 28 Matt's Wild Cherry tomatoes, 57 tomatillos, and 8 artichokes so far. We're definitely not planting all of those, so I need to find some new homes. Time for another egg collection because we don't want the chickens eating the eggs. And they're off. We've gotten 12 eggs today so far. Gonna follow these two, see what they're up to. Front of our house along our driveway, all of this was built in. This was just like a forest of bamboo, and I wish I had a before picture or a video because we've cleaned out so much. All of that was filled in with bamboo and brush. My husband, Zach, just cleared all of this. And now he's working on the rest of the driveway. We hung the sign up on the front of our house and it is official. Redbird Homestead. We are up and running.